Alrighty. So we're starting with the roof today. And the first thing I want to do is create a new file, make sure it's English, standard IPT, create, and we're going to name that right off the bat. Save as roof. If you're using folder system, put it in your folder. Where's my model house? Right here. And I'm just going to put roof in here. Name mine roof one because I already have a roof. All right. And so we're going to get started with this guy right here. Okay. This is going to be our starting point, this 90-degree angle, and it's called a bird's mouth. This is the piece that will situate on top of here. Actually, this one will go on the top plate and be secured down. And this really ties the whole house together. The walls support all the way to the roof. So let's get started. First things first, start a sketch on the XY plane. And we're going to make a simple square that is 3.93 inches. And that looks to be very large. So I'm going to hit OK. There we are. 3.93. And I'm going to turn the two outside parts into construction lines. So this is one way to do it. Click here and then click here. Or you can click once, right click, and say construction. So that's the other way. It should be a dotted line. What it means is it's a guideline and it does not count. All right. And now from this point, I'm going to back out a little bit and I'm going to be going in a clockwise direction. So this is our bird's mouth square we just made. I'm going to be going down and then out and then up and around. So the first measurement, I'm going to do it all in lines. First measurement is connected to this endpoint. It's going to be at 135 degrees and it's going to be 10.43 and make sure that's 135. My line is still connected to my mouth, so I'm going to go up 90 degrees, and that's going to be 5.5 inches. Then I'll be going back at an angle of 90 degrees from there, and that's a big line, 82.75, and that takes us to the peak. I'll be coming straight down at a 45-degree angle. That is going to be 7.75, and make sure we lock in that angle 45 degrees. There we are. And then my final line is going to take us right to that point. Okay. You could take a moment and clean up your dimensions, kind of get them off the drawing. It just makes things easier to see. There we go. Back these up. And pull this out. Oh, will that one come out? Sloppy. That's all right, though. All right. So next up, we need to find the center point. But if you notice on my drawing here, there's a beam that goes in between these 2 points. So they're not connected to each other. What I have to do is account for the center point of this beam. So if this is 1.5 inches, half of that is 0.75. So what I'm going to do is come back over here. And I'm going to, in fact, draw the shape of that beam. All right. We know it's 1.5 wide. And it's a 2x8. So it's 7.5. All right. And now we're going to use a center line. Actually, we're going to get automatically our center line. So I'm going to create a construction line. I click line and then construction. And then right here, I'm just going to come up 90 degrees. Doesn't matter how long. We just want it to be there. Okay. Because we're going to use that as our mirror line right now. So our mirror is going to happen by clicking this. And then we're going to highlight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts. And we're going to say mirror line, go back to our construction line and apply. And now we have our full-on truss. Click done. Get a nice smooth view of that. We have our beam already drawn in for an extrusion. The last thing I'm going to do is create the post coming down. So another rectangle. It's going to be that 1.5 inches again. It's going to come all the way down even with this. So just use that as a guide, all right? You see it comes in as 43.597, but if I just move across, there we go, and 1.5, tab, and enter. And whoops, it's a construction line. So I need to just click, right click, not construction. Click, right click, ooh, get in there closer. Click, right click, construction. Select it, right click, hit that construction button, and let's make sure the one up here, it's going to be janky if we don't fix it. So I'm going to right click and delete this. There we go. Construction. Get that off. So now we have all three parts. We have our our ribs or our roof truss. We have our post and we have our beam. I'm going to extrude them in 3 different steps. So what I want to do from here is just right click on sketch and make sure visibility is on. Whoops, I should finish my 2D sketch first. And now I'm going to right click and make sure visibility is on right now. After our first extrusion, it's going to go away. But the first thing I'm going to do is extrude my beam. All right, and it is going the wrong way. So I'm going to flip that and I'm going to make it 144 inches. All right, sketch went away, not fair. We're going to expand this extrusion, right click on sketch 1 and say visibility back on. Now, this is going to get a little confusing. So I'm just going to name this. If I click once and then click again, I can now name this beam. So it wasn't a double click. I'm going to hit enter. It wasn't a double click. It was click once and then click again, right? The other thing you can do is if you click it once, you can press F2 and that'll allow you to change it. But we're already good here. Just do a slow double click. Now, second extrusion. I'm going to do my post. I'm sorry, I'm going to do my beam. 1 and 2. Now, I'm not making a roof, I'm making the joists. So I'm going to turn this into 1.5 and say enter. All right. And then finally, I'm going to make my post. All right. And that post is going to be 3.5 because it's a 2x4. Now, the only thing left we have to do is create a post in the back. So let me catch up with my extrusions. It's actually called a rafter. And we're going to go here, extrusion. This is called a beam. A post. And that's post 1. Come around the other side, start a sketch right there. And we're going to make a rectangle as if we're looking at the bottom of that post. So it's going to be 1.5 and 3.5. Finish sketch, and we're going to extrude that. Extrude it to this length. Say OK. All right. And the only thing I want to double check here is, do my extrusions match? They should. Yeah, they do. Okay. These posts, so the way we're looking at it is this post is going to be sitting on the top plate of the shed the same way these are. So this should be the same as this. I'm going to double check that. Just click and right, we went this way. Okay. Perfect. So now it's time to do a rectangular pattern. I want to match up all these guys. So if we take a look over at the shed, we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back to roof 1. We're going to rectangle pattern, select my features, choose my direction, arrow is facing the proper way, otherwise flip-flop. I need to have 10. And the spacing, very important, is going to be 15.83. And we're doing this for the cleanliness of this drawing, okay? It should be 16 inches on center. If I was building this at my house, they'd be 16 inches on center. And just like some of the walls we made, this last stud would just be a few inches close. I'm sorry, the second to last rafter would be a little bit closer to the last rafter. All right, just like the couple walls we've made. But for the cleanliness of this drawing, we're going to use 15.83. Click OK. And now I have a roof that is finished. The last thing I want to do is put some color on it. So let's go with that pine. Let's go with that red oak. Okay. And for, let's see, the beam, I'm going to go red oak. For the rafters, I'm going to go yellow pine. For the extrusion, oh, where's the rest of you? Got too many things selected. So let's go beam. I think this visibility is messing with me. So let's turn that off. And all right, sorry, I'm all thumbs. So let's try that again. So beam, gonna be red oak. Rafter, yellow pine. Doesn't seem to want to change for me right now. Post. Red oak. And extrusion. It's the other one. We're going to change that. And the pattern, yellow pine. Okay. And now we got that variation in colors. We're going to make sure we click save one more time. And next class, we're going to take all 6 of these pieces and put them together as if we were actually building the shed. But that is our finished product right there. That should look dead. That should look dead split image to the one that we've been using. Good luck. Have fun. You're almost there.